Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Behind me, 2012 Toyota Sienna. We're going to be replacing the front left lower control arm. That's the driver's side control arm. So let's get started. This is all-wheel drive, but regular front-wheel drive, procedure's the same. Let's do it. Our lower control arm, for the most part, is pretty easy. We have this back fastener here, nice and open. We have this fastener right here, no problem. The issue we'll run into is this back fastener. It's underneath our transmission mount. Let me show you what the workshop manual says. Hopefully this shows up clear on camera, but we got our front lower suspension arm. That's our control arm. Step number 1, remove engine assembly with transaxle. We are not removing the engine today. Luckily, we know a workaround. It starts with the front engine mount. Let's crawl under. Our front engine mount is bolted to our front frame. Right here is our exhaust pipe. Just over from that, we see one nut here, 14 millimeter. The other two, we have to move this plastic out of the way. With a small flat screwdriver, there's 2 clips. Just pop those clips up. There we go. Just the center of the clip, and then the whole thing should come with it. There we go. So you're just popping that center up to release the clip. We'll do that to this other side. It should give us enough room just to move this plastic out of the way. We don't have to remove it completely. Just get it out of the way. So there's a hole here in the frame. That's where our other nut is. Right in front, right here, is another one. So it's just those 3. That one had a little rust on it, but we powered through it. All right, that's it here. Now let's go to our transmission mount. We'll start by removing this upper nut, 19 millimeter. See if I can get it a good, not too bad. I can't get it with my fingers yet. Ratcheting wrench saves the day. Now we'll go underneath and jack the transmission up as high as we can. So on our transmission, we're going to use the back of the case, not our oil pan. The case is a very sturdy spot. We're just going to jack it up until it stops. You'll feel it go up nice and smooth, and then it'll get hard. Once it gets hard, we don't want to push it any further. Okay, that should be enough where our transmission has cleared our mount. So this is nice and free. Now we'll pull off the 3 bolts holding it to the frame. We'll get this open one first, 17 millimeter. So there's a cover right here in the front. We'll get with a screwdriver, just pop that cover away. This is also 17 mil. And same here. All right, let's get this out of the way. There we go. Okay, that is it. Our next little hurdle is our sway bar link. Before trying to remove this nut, we want to clean these threads off really well. So I have a drill with a wire wheel. Then we'll take a lubricating penetrant, spray the threads, and it's best to do this like the night before. Then the penetrant can work itself under the nut. Now there's 2 different ways of getting this off. In the front, there's a slot for an Allen. Let me get you that size. We'll clean out this little slot the best we can with like a pick or a small screwdriver. Get any rust and stuff out. And mine is a 6 millimeter Allen. You can even just tap it in. Get it to seat all the way. And then the nut is a 17 millimeter. Put our socket here. And we want this in the tightening position to hold the stud while this gets broken loose. You just move it a little. Use the hammer just to start it. There we go. And then we just keep backing it out. And this works pretty good. Now, if for some reason this isn't working very good, let me see if I can pull this out. You could take a pair of vice grips, chomp it in the back. There's a little metal stud back there. Get a good grip on it. And then use an impact. Whatever works best for you, we just want to get this out and set aside. If you use the vice grips, this is the metal stud that you're chomping onto. It won't damage the boot because you're in front of the boot and you're only clamping on the metal. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So just this top one, clean it off. Put a little penetrant. This time I'll go straight for the vice grips. We'll just start with these. We have a 22 millimeter. Just have a long extension on my impact. There's one. Okay. All right, let's do this back one next. Underneath, we got this plastic. It's just held on with 10 millimeter bolts. We got one up here. This one should pop off. There we go. All right, that's out of the way enough. There's just this little clip that it slides out of. It gives us access to our bolt. Remove you. We got a 19 millimeter nut up top, and a 19 millimeter from down below. Sometimes you just need to spin them out all the way. There we go. Last is our ball joint. We'll undo it from the control arm first. 17 millimeter. With our pry bar, we can put it in that hole towards the back and just push down on our control arm, get the knuckle out, get it to go under. There we go. Now our control arm, bolts can come out. Move the sway bar out of the way, get that out. All right. Back here, we'll also use a little pry bar just to get it out from under there. All right, that's it. Let's get our new one. With our new control arm, we just want to line it up with our old control arm, make sure everything's the same. You can see the failure on our old control arm. This bushing is just toast. Our new control arm did come with a new ball joint, so we'll finish removing our old ball joint from the knuckle. And then the other thing that needs to happen is this right here, just gets transferred over. And that's it. As far as prep on the car side, just all these surfaces, we want to make sure they're free of gravel or heavy dirt. So just wipe that away so everything sits nice and flush. Same with this back here. Just this little channel, wipe away any dirt, mud, rocks, whatever you have hiding out. To finish getting the ball joint off, we have to remove this nut. There's a cotter pin that locks it in place. Having a pair of side cutters is really helpful. Take our side cutters and just cut the tail off as flush as we can. We'll take a small punch and we'll knock the cotter pin out. We'll go from the tail side. Just trying to straighten out the tail a little more. There we go. Let me zoom in a little closer. So hopefully you can see the cotter pin head is sticking out a little more. Now we can grip on that with our side cutters. So we just take our side cutters, grip on it, and then we'll pry against the nut. Just keep prying. Sorry, my hands are totally in your way. But keep prying, and then you get it. So that's it. Cotter pin's out. Just take your time, finesse with it. That is the most challenging part. We're gonna spray the nut with a lubricant. A standard wrench might not fit. You don't want to use the open-end wrench, you want to use the box-end wrench. And just for Toyotas, I've modified this to where I've ground down the width so it's not as thick, it's a little thinner. And that'll slip right underneath the CV axle, just like that. It's a 19 millimeter. Let me move you to the side. I'm gonna smack on this to crack it loose. There we go. Once it's loose, I'll switch to the open end. Get it the rest of the way. Now the nut won't come completely off because the CV axle's in the way. So now we'll take our pickle fork and knock our ball joint out. So we have our pickle fork, put that right in between the ball joint and the knuckle. We'll hit on it. And that should wedge it off. There we go, got it. We can take the nut the rest of the way off. Ball joint comes out. Use a little pry bar just to help. Just the dust shield that has to get past real quick. There we go. There, got it. Let's clean this off really good. Same with the bottom. We do want to separate our new ball joint from the lower control arm. This has to go on separate. We'll put that on first. There we go. There, we don't have to torque it down now. We'll torque it down later. Now let's install our control arm. Just slide this in. Just tap the back in. Take a small pry bar, it's gonna get it to line up a little. Once the hole starts to line up on the bottom just a little, you can take a screwdriver, stick it in there and just kind of move it around. Move it just a little. I'm just gonna try and get this back bolt in first. It's just the top that needs to go in a little. Just gonna tap on that bushing. There we go. Just had to wiggle the control arm a little more. Put this on. Just to hold it. To get this bolt through, it worked best to have the control arm up as high as it could go, pretty much touching the CV axle, so up above the ball joint. I'll get these in, make sure they line up, get the thread started. Do that to this side, move that out of the way. Gonna get this back one started first. Just gonna use a ratchet to get some threads. You don't want to cross thread these. All right, looks like it's going in nice and smooth. I'll finish it off with the impact. Because of Toyota's design, we don't have to load the suspension before torquing anything down, which makes it pretty sweet. These two front ones are 148 foot-pounds. Snug this the rest of the way. And this is 103 foot-pounds. Put our plastic back up. Now the screw that goes in the plastic on the bottom doesn't have to be too tight, just snug. You don't want to strip that plastic out. Same with the bolt too, doesn't have to be too tight. Take the pry bar, put it in that hole. Right down on the control arm. There we go. Get this to swing in. Right, perfect. Get a couple nuts started. We'll pry down on the control arm a little to get our bolt in. Kind of helps line things up. I'll suck these down. These are 68 foot-pounds each. Now my new control arm has an extra nut that goes on the back side of this bolt. The bolt goes all the way through, and then the nut is kind of like a jam nut, locks it in place. Now for this nut, let's tighten it up. It's gonna be 91 foot-pounds. The best way to get a true torque is with a crow's foot. I'm just gonna get it as tight as I can with my hands first. And I have a link in the description for a crow's foot set so you can get a proper torque. Now once it's torqued, we're gonna throw a cotter pin in it. If your castle slot in your nut doesn't line up with a hole, go to the next available castle slot. Don't back it off to line it up. Tighten it up to the next slot. And we'll put in our cotter pin. We'll bend this up. There we go. Sweet, ball joint is done. Now let's work on getting our engine mount back in. Slide this in like that. Get the bolts in and started. We'll just suck these down. For these lower nuts, my manual says 71 foot-pounds. And we'll put our grommets back. This just had the one. All right, so let's lower the engine just a little. We'll just get it to fall in that hole. There, perfect. We'll lower it the rest of the way. And the front mount should just line up. Throw this nut on. You got 71 foot-pounds for this as well. And again, you'll need a crow's foot to get a proper torque. Throw the nuts on. Snug them down. And these are 38 foot-pounds. Put the plastic back. Put those clips in. All right, nice. Last thing is our sway bar link. Put that nut back on. Put our Allen in there. Make sure it goes in all the way. Just tighten it up. This is torqued to 55 foot-pounds. Nice. Now we'll just install the sway bar link on the other side. Good job. All right, there we go. That's when we place the left control arm on your Toyota. Still a little bit of work, but way better than pulling the engine. The next thing we want to do is take it for a good test drive. Make sure it feels good, especially turning left and right and coming to a stop and accelerating. Want to make sure everything is nice and tight. Then we'll take it to an alignment shop. Even if it drives straight, there could be minor differences in machining, throwing your toe, or other alignment adjustments off that you just need to get it double checked. Tires are expensive. All right, that's it. I'll have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions, comment, post down below. Work safe. We'll see you on the next one.